So you want to get shredded. Hey, I get it. Those low levels of body fat look incredible. They show your commitment, your discipline. But as someone who's gotten down to single-digit body fat, I can tell you there's a dark side to getting shredded nobody ever talks about. So today I'm going to reveal 4 big downsides to help you determine if it's right for you. Now, before I get into those downsides, there's something I want to preface here first, because when you go through this, it might sound like I'm saying it's not worth it and you shouldn't do it, and that's just not the case. The key is understanding what you're getting into, because it is a lot. For example, many people will say they want to get stage lean, they just don't want to actually compete. But the thing is, if you don't have that big end goal, it's just going to be too hard to stick with it when everything gets really hard. So you need some sort of deadline, something big to focus on. It doesn't have to be a show, but it could be something like a photo shoot, something with a hard date. Hopefully you've already even spent your money on it so you can't go back, something that will force you to stick through the difficult challenges. Anyway, let's get into the 4 downsides. The first one, this is something that actually is talked about pretty frequently, and that is, it just feels like crap to be that lean. Don't get me wrong, there's things you can do to help, like refeeds and diet breaks and not losing too fast and all the stuff I talk about all the time. But at a certain point, when you get lean enough, everything is going to suffer. Your strength and energy levels are gonna plummet. You're gonna lose motivation, not only for this process, but basically everything in life. You're gonna be hungry all the time. The only thing you'll ever be able to think about is food. When is my next meal? And when you do eat a meal, it won't be satisfying at all. Your sex drive will evaporate. You're gonna be moody and agitated all the time. I'm telling you, I'm a really chill person. But when I got this lean, I was agitated about everything, and things that normally wouldn't even bother me at all were basically pissing me off. The second downside is it's basically going to take over your whole life. There's no such thing as, well, I need balance and getting shredded. Yes, you can get in good shape and you can lose plenty of weight, but if you want to get to this level, it's going to take extreme measures, and balance goes out the window. Your whole life is going to become about this process. You're always going to be thinking about, what kind of meal prep should I be doing? What are my macros looking like? Getting your strength training done, getting your cardio done, getting extra walking done. Like when I got absolutely completely shredded, by the end, I was training 5 days a week. I was also doing an hour of cardio 5 days a week. I was also going for an hour-long walk whenever I got home outside. And it's just like the time and preparation that goes into this does not leave much for anything else. And your desire to do much of anything just goes by the wayside. This process will take over your life. The third downside is it's just not gonna be sustainable. Even if you create that look, it's gonna be a temporary thing. You're not gonna be able to make that last long term. I mean, there's a very, very tiny percentage of people who are able to do it. It's probably their job. A lot of them are on performance enhancing drugs. There's usually reasons for it, but for the vast majority of people, they're not going to be able to stay that way long term. And again, I don't want you to feel like that means it's just never worth doing this. I thought it was a great experience. I love having all these photos I did at a photo shoot where I took tons of photos that I can always look back on and post about, and I can be proud of this accomplishment. But on the other side of that is where big problems can lie. This is what number 4 is all about, and this is what nobody ever talks about. Getting this shredded will forever change your definition of what in shape looks like. For years, I hovered between like the low to mid 180s, and I always felt like I was in good shape. I was proud of how I looked and everything was great. But when I got stage lean, I was around 160 pounds at that point. And now when I do very infrequently go through cuts and try to get just a bit leaner like I am right now, I'm sitting in the low to mid 170s most of the time right now. And this is actually even in better shape than I used to be before when I thought I was in good shape. But I look at it now and I'm like, you're not very lean, you know, it's not that impressive. And it's like, man, it just completely warps what you think being lean, being in shape means. It messes with you. And the other bad part about that is it kind of takes some of the excitement away. I used to occasionally, okay, every couple of years, I'm gonna go through a cut, I'm gonna get down nice and lean. At least I had that excitement of seeing what the new look looks like and everything like that. Now it's like, it kind of takes that excitement away because I know I'm not going to beat that other look that I had. And that kind of can be a little bit defeating. And what can happen on top of that, thankfully this doesn't happen for me, but this does happen for a lot of people, is because you know you're gonna lose that look, you can get really down about it and you can feel like, well, why put in so much work? And then the weight regain can be huge because you say, screw it, your metabolism is tanked because of all the dieting you've done, you're ravenously hungry all the time, so you just go nuts and end up being way worse than you ever were to start with. So it's just something you gotta be really cautious and aware of because of what it does to you mentally. Now with that, if you determine that you do wanna get shredded, or at least really lean, what you wanna do next is check out this video and I'll show you how to go from 20% to 10% body fat the easiest way possible. And I'll see you in that other video.